Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. How are you all doing today? I hope this is a good day. So it's good to have us here. I hope we are here. I hope we are ready for this class. I am ready to take us on this journey, so I hope we are ready. I hope we are ready. Oluwaseyi, welcome. Augusta, welcome. Pat, welcome. I'm glad that you all are ready for this fabric beading class this evening. So, without any further delay, let's get right into it so that we can get this done on time. I hope we are set for this class. For this class, you know that even if you don't know anything that you need, you know you need your needle and your thread. And it's going to be your beading needle, not the regular hand needle. Okay, so now let's get started. If you are just seeing me for the first time, my name is Motunrayo and I'm your fabric beading tutor. So welcome. If you are not already following this page, do so now. All right, because there's a lot of tutorials that come on this page, lot of tutorials, lot of tips, everything that helps you to navigate your fabric beading journey. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Do well to introduce yourself briefly and let's get into this class this evening. Okay, so let's see. Gina, you are welcome to class. Pat, you are welcome. You are welcome to class, everyone. A number of people are excited about this class, and I'm trying to see right now. We don't have us here, so let's get everything here. First of all, let me apologize for a little bit delay in this live today, but now we are ready and then we are set to go. Alright, so I want to welcome everyone on TikTok, Instagram. As you can see me looking at two screens, so I have two screens before me. Alright, so I'm glad that we are all here. So let's get the class started. In a minute or two, quickly introduce yourself in the comments and let's get this done. Alright, so in a minute or two, and that is like in 60 seconds, we should be ready. I'm going to be taking you through this class like it is like an actual class. Whether it is a free bidding class or not does not matter. All that matters is that you are here so that you can get all the details of everything that you need. All right, so let's get into it. First, we are going to be taking the materials and tools for fabric beading, and I'm going to be sharing with you those tools and materials in this class right now. Do well to get your biro, get your paper, get your writing materials because you are going to need all of this information that I'm going to be sharing with you this evening. All right, so don't disturb me, please. All right, so you're going to need to get your writing materials so that we can get every information that I'm going to be putting out here is quite important. All right, so you can have them penned down, have them written down somewhere. Okay, so now let's get into the class proper. Ladies feet, welcome on board. I'm glad you have been able to join in. Big Stanley, welcome on board. I'm glad you've been able to join. Ruby Tenwola, welcome on board. Alright, so I'm glad that we have all been able to join. So let's get right into what are the materials that you need for your fabric beading journey. If you are new to fabric beading, then welcome on board. If you are already into fabric beading, this is also the class for you. So I'm glad that you have joined in this evening. Okay. All right. There's a call coming in through this phone. You guys, please just give me a moment. And it looks like it's okay. So sorry about that. Let's continue. Okay, we are back. All right, so we are going to be starting with what are the tools and the materials that we need for fabric beading. Of course, you know that for you to do anything that is called fabric beading, you need the fabric that you want to bead on, and you also need the beads that you want to have on the fabrics. Now, the technique, the materials, and every other thing that will help you to get a design properly or a design correctly is totally up to you. But the two very important things that you need your fabric and you also need your bead. So have that in mind. Aside that, you also need your beading needles. Your beading needles are not your regular needle, all right? Your regular needle these are what your regular needle looks like. Yes, for those of us, this is what your regular needle looks like. Okay, but this is not what your beading needle is. Your beading needle is thinner and is more flexible, unlike your regular needle, which is really thick and you see. So this is not bendable, this is not foldable. All right, this is your regular needle. Can you see? So this is your regular needle. However, let me show you what your beading needle look like. Your beading needles are flexible, they are more easy to work with. You can see they can bend and they can. So there's a whole lot and it is really thin. The reason for this is so that it will pass through your beads no matter the size of the beads. All right. So you want to choose your needle that is correct and that is perfect for your beads. You don't want to use a needle that cannot pass through your beads. All right. So you need your beading needle, you need your beads, you need your fabric. You also need your cutting tools. You need your thread. You need different kind of thread. You have your regular thread. This is the regular thread that we are all aware of. This is our regular thread. And we also have your nylon thread, which is also called invisible thread. So you can see that these threads are important. This is what helps you to put your bead onto your fabric. You are stitching the beads to the dress with these threads. Okay, so whether you are going with this or you are going with this, it is just important that you have to use one of these, either your regular thread or your polyester thread. Okay, all right, so you need your thread. You also need something to cut, a cutting tool. This can be your scissors and this can be your thread snips, just like this. All right, so the advantage of your thread snips over your scissors is that this can get your thread to the barest minimum. All right, so this can get your thread to the barest minimum. But if you have your scissors, then you are good to go. It's still all good, it's still all fine. Okay, so give this live stream a like. The reason why we need to do this is that so that a number of people that have also shown interest can actually be aware that we are live. Okay, so you can double tap your screen, Instagram, double tap your screen, TikTok, double tap your screen, please. So like on Instagram, you can also share if there's any of your friends that are, I'll say that they are interested, so just so they know that we are live now. I don't want anyone to miss out of this free fabric beading class. Everything that we are going to be teaching in this class is going to really worth a whole lot. Okay, forget that this is a free class. Okay, this is an intensive um class, so I don't want anyone missing out. So please like, so that everyone else will be notified to join us as well. Okay, so now let's go further. Now, if you also have any questions, do well to leave me your questions in the comments. I'm going to attend to it. Let us do this thing this way. Okay, let's leave all the question and answer to the later part of the class. Okay, so drop your question. Okay, or in the course of the beading or the beadwork, if you have any question, you can drop it there. And then at the end of the entire class, we are going to be taking all the questions one after the other, like that. Okay, so I hope that is fine. I hope that is fine. Give me your reaction. Let me know. I hope that is fine. All right, so let us do it that way. That works perfectly. Okay. Okay, so now for the sake of this class, right, this that I have with me is called an embroidery hoop. This is an embroidery hoop with a fabric installed. You can see this is a fabric. This fabric is installed into this embroidery hoop. I must say that you do not need to have an embroidery hoop before you can bead on your fabric. You do not need to have an embroidery hoop before you can bead on your fabric. Whatever fabric it is that you're working, whether it's a shirt, it's a skirt, it's a blouse, just pick up the fabric like this, okay? Pick up the fabric like this and do whatever you want to do on your fabric. The reason why we are using this for the sake of this training this evening is so that everything that I'm doing, it can all be in one place and it can all be visible. You all can see it, everything at once, and you all can see everything neatly, so that there's no fabric covering up another parts where you are supposed to see. I hope that is clear. So that's the reason why you are using embroidery. However, if you have an embroidery hoop, then you are good to go. Go ahead, set up your fabric into the hoop, and let's get this class rolling. But if you do not have an embroidery hoop, note that you can still bead on your fabric. Everything I'm going to be teaching you in this class is still very valid, whether you have an embroidery hoop or not. Okay, so we can get this started. All right, so now that I think we have a good class on both platforms, now it's time for us to go into the beading proper. Now you can see that on this hoop, which is my fabric, I've drawn a figure. The reason why I've drawn this figure is so that for the sake of this training, it can be easy for us to refer to this. Okay, so now I'm going to try to sketch out a blouse on this. That's where you can see how to work on a blouse. So if you have any blouse with a plain base, by the end of this class, I am sure that you are going to be able to bead on that blouse. Trust me. At the end of this class, if you have any blouse with a plain base, I'm sure that you are going to be able to bead on that blouse. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to that will bring us to is sketching this. Okay, so first let's give this more like a spaghetti strap. Okay, so this is a spaghetti strap. Now let's make it into a blouse. Okay, can we all see this? Okay, Okay, so now this is more like you are looking at a spaghetti blouse now. Okay, a spaghetti strap. Okay, so now let's say we have a corset. Okay, okay, so can you see what I've just done now? So can you see what I've just done now? Okay, so can you see what I've just done now? So now I'm going to be taking this now as my blouse. Okay, a blouse will definitely have the neckline, all right? The neckline, the sleeve. In this case, this strap is our sleeve. Okay, a blouse will definitely have the body, the hip area, the waist area, okay, and all of that. So I believe that now I'm going to just outline the detail a little bit more so that it can be okay. So can we see this now? Alright, so if we can see this, then I think we can go further. Okay, yes, you can see it. Okay, yes, you can see it. So now we have our blouse. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do now is to start beading on our blouse. I see the likes. Thank you so much. Thank you for the like. Please, as much as you can, like this. You can like. You can also share with your friends. Okay, so that this whole class reaches more people. So we have our blouse. So we have our blouse. We have our blouse right now. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do is how do you stitch beads on fabric? How do you stitch beads on fabric? Now, I told us earlier we need our beading needle. All right. Now, I have one of my beading needles here. Here's my beading needle. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I am going to thread this needle that you see in my hand. Okay, so I must also let you know that when you are threading this beading needle, be patient with yourself and be patient with your needle because this is going to really sometimes it takes time because the eye of you can see the eye of this beading needle is really tiny. I'm not even sure you can see it on camera right now. So the eye is really tiny. Okay, so now we have crossed the first hurdle of beading the of threading the needle. So this is the first hurdle that you have to cross if you want to learn fabric beading. So I want to believe that we can all hear me. I hope I've not been talking to myself all along. Please, I hope hope you can all hear me. Please, I want to know if you can all hear me. Please, I'm going to wait for a moment. Okay, we can hear me. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we have the needle, we have the thread, and then we have our beads. Okay, now for our beads, there are different kinds of beads. Okay, these beads that you see right here in my hands, they are crystals. They come in a strand, all right, and then there are also some that come in a pack, but those ones that come in a strand, they glitter more, they shine more, they give you more sparkle than the one in the pack. However, the ones that come in a pack, they are way more affordable than the one that comes in a strand. Okay, so whether you are working whether you are working on a budget, you know which one to choose now. Okay. So we are going to be making use of this crystal, and this is also a crystal bead as well. We are going to be making use of these two in the course of this class this evening. So okay, now that we have our beads and then we have the fabric that we want to bead on, you can see how they shine. It gives off the light, it sparkles, it shines. So when you are choosing beads to work with, you know that you can never go wrong with the crystals. Alright, so now the first thing we want to do is pick up a little, if this is your dress that you want to work on, okay, so you want to note what part of the dress you want to work on, and then after noting the part of the dress that you want to work on, okay, busy brushes. Okay, so I think how we are going to do this now is, before you joined us, we said let's have the class. If you have an urgent question, you can drop it in the chat right now. Okay, and at the end of the whole class, okay, I'm going to take all of the questions. I'm going to answer all the questions. Okay, and I asked if that was okay, and we all agreed while we started. Okay, so busy brush, you can please drop your questions and it's going to be answered at the end of this class. Okay, because I don't want us to be distracted. We have a lot to cover. So I want us to be focused, and I want us to get at it as soon as we can. Note the part of the dress that you want to bead on. Okay, so now let's just say that this is a corset, all right, and we want to bead on the bust area. Now, if you want to bead on the bust area, you also need to now ask yourself, what kind of beadwork do I want on the bust area? Okay, so let's start with taking this whole thing step by step. All right, let's not rush. You know that we are just coming into fabric beading. I don't want to come and load us with complex designs. Okay, so let's start from this very first step, and then we go on, and then we advance as we go along the way. All right. Now, if we have the cup or the corset or the bustier that we want to bead on, what you want to do is pick a point where you want to start the bead work from. Okay, when you pick a point, pick a pinch of fabric. Okay, just a pinch of fabric like this. You can see the way I'm holding this hoop. This is also the way you will hold the dress. One hand in, another hand out. Okay, that's way everything is really easy for you. You are beading on a dress. Hold your dress this way. Make sure that one hand is inside the dress, okay, which is the wrong side of the dress, and make sure that one hand is outside, which is the right side of the dress. Okay. So pick a point. At this point, I think I'm going to bring the camera closer so that we can see what it is I'm doing. Okay, so I believe that we can see now. So I've already picked a pinch of this fabric now. You can see that the beading needle is inside the fabric. It has picked a pinch of fabric. So this is the point where I am starting from. Okay, so from my starting now, you either go inside of the loop. You can see the loop. Go in between the two threads. Okay, then come out. Okay, so you can see that dot that this has given us. Okay, do that again. This that we are doing is actually called a start stitch. This is the first stitch that we are doing to start the beadwork. Okay, go inside of this loop. Okay, so this is your start. This way your thread is secured. All right, now like I said, we are going to start with one bead at a time, and this design that we are going to be creating is going to be scattered. If you have an area of the cup, it's going to be scattered. So we are going to have it scattered in this area of this cup that you see right now. Okay, so let's go. So I'm going to be going in with the pink bead. Okay, one bead at a time, just like I told us. We pull it down, bring it down. Okay, bring it down like this. My bead is inside, and then you move, go inside of your fabric, and then on to the next point. Now you are going to choose a spacing. How much spaced out do you want it to be? This is my own spacing. This is my own spacing. Can you see? Okay, so now I pull out just like that. So that way we have stitched in one bead. It's just as simple as that. You have stitched in one bead just now. Okay, now pick another bead and then you stitch it down just the same way. Okay, I've picked another bead now. Bring it down the thread. Okay, it's coming down the thread now. Okay, now look at the spacing that the beads can cover. Okay, and then you move at that spacing, and then you pick the wideness between that two beads, and then you come out of your fabric. Now you have stitched down the second bead. I hope you are getting this whole illustration. Okay, you pick up another one. You do the same. The process is still the same. Okay, your beads come down this way. Your beads come down, and then you go inside of your fabric, and then you come out. Now, when I'm saying, I'm going to be mentioning spacing a lot in the course of this class. And what spacing means is the distance between one bead and another bead. The distance between one bead and another bead, that is your spacing. The distance between this bead and the next one, that is your spacing. I hope you understand me. So I'm just going to continue doing this now. Can you see? Okay, so far I hope you are getting it. And there's something I'm going to bring to our notice. The thing about the scattered design is you don't want them like aligning. The goal is that you don't want it to align. Just like, let's say something scatters. Okay, for example, imagine that you pour a bead on the floor or you pour stones on the floor. It's going to scatter all around. It's not going to align on the ground. Like, it's not like one will follow the other. So that's when you have to make sure that your beads, they are not sort of following themselves in a particular way. Okay, somebody should not be able to see it and say, okay, this bead is following like this and like this. All right. So the way you can do that is make sure that, okay, now if I'm to go in now, if I come out from here, from underneath this bead, it's going to align. Okay, but I'm not going to come out from underneath this bead. Okay, if I go in from here, I'm going to come out in between two beads. That way it's going to be like alternate. Everything is not going to align. That is the trick, or that's the tip that you need to be able to create beautiful scattered beadwork. And this stitch that I'm using is just simple running stitch. You know, running stitch. Running stitch is that stitch that you use to like stitch any two fabric together. when your maybe your skirt rips off and you're just trying to mend it. We all remember those days back in the days. Maybe in secondary school you were doing one sewing project or the other. That stitch where you just go in the forward movement, that is what I have been doing, and that stitch is called running stitch. That's what I'm going to be using, okay, for this class, so that you understand how the stitch goes about. Okay, so now you see that we have been able to fill that entire bust area. Can you see? We've been able to fill the entire bust area with beads just like that, just scattered on it, just like that. It's just as simple as you see it right now. Okay, so this is how to create the scattered design, and when you are done with your design, all you need to do is you can stitch. You finish your thread really close to the bead. That way the bead can help you to cover that last stitch. I'm going to show us how to do that now. When we started with a pinch of fabric. So at the end also, we are going to end it with just a little pinch of fabric. Go inside of this loop like this, okay? And then it ties it in like that. Okay? So you do that 2 to 3 times so that everything is well secured. All right, everything is well secured. So, and once you are done, all you need to do is just go ahead to cut out your thread. Okay, so can you see? So this is the scattered design. Can you see? So it's just as simple as this, right? It's just as simple as this. Do you like it? Give it a like. If you like it, give it a like. Press the like button. Press the like button. Press the like button. Press the like button. So are we ready to go on to the next? Let's get on to the next. Precious, hi Precious, Gracie Couture, Melody, thank you for all of the likes. Please give this live stream a like. I'm also going to give it a like myself. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm glad you like what you see, you like what you see, you like what you see. So you can see that fabric beading is easy, okay? So now let's move on to the next. in this first, I showed us how we can bead with single beads. All right. So now in this next, I'm going to be showing us how we can use multiple beads at once. Now you know we use one bead per time. Now we are going to be using more than one bead at a time. Okay, so I'm going to show us now. So let's get into it. I'm going to be using this, doing this on the hem area. Let's say you have a blouse, you can do this all around the hem of the blouse. Okay, so I'm going to be doing it here, which is a replica of the hem of the blouse that we have been trying to imagine. Okay, so make sure that you get your first stitch, secure it properly, and while you are doing that, ensure that you are doing it as nice as possible. Ensure that your thread is not tangling along the way. Okay, so now that the start stitch is done, okay, the next thing is to start picking up our beads. All right, so how many beads do we want us to pick at once? Let me hear from us. How many beads should we pick at once? We have picked one bead, we used running stitch. Now for this next, how many beads do you want us to pick at once? The first answer has it. How many beads should we pick at once? Remember, our beads should not be too much, okay? And it should not be one bead because we just did one bead with this scattered design, okay? So let's do 3 beads at once. All right, so we're going to be picking these 3 beads now. Still going to be using this pink. Okay, so this is 3 beads. Can you see? This is 3 beads. So now you want to look at the amount of space on your fabric. Can you see? You want to look at the amount of space on your fabric that 3 beads can cover. All right, it should not be more and it should not be less. It should not be more and it should not be less. If it is more, you are going to have lots of thread showing, and we don't want that. We want to have a neat job. Okay, so 3 beads has it. So I guess we are okay. Busy brush says 6 beads. Okay, so with 6 beads, you don't want it to be too much because you don't want your beads to be sagging, except if you are using small size beads. But when you are using big size beads, then let's stick to not more than 5 at a time. All right, so I hope we all understand that. So let's go with 3 beads. Okay, bring your beads down your thread, okay, on your fabric. See where it ends, all right, on your fabric, and then you go in right beside where it ends. Can you see where it ends? So we are going to be going in from here. Okay, and then once you go into your fabric, the next thing is to pick your spacing. Okay, the distance between two. So this is going to be mine. So you can see that my needle is coming out from here already. So can you see that? Right, so we pick the next 3. Pick the next 3. So this is the next 3. Bring it down your thread, down to your fabric. Okay, okay, look at where all 3 ends, and then you go in. Okay, you pick your spacing again. Can we see that? All right, you pick another 3. So this is going to be the last three right now on this end line. Alright, so can you see? This is how to use multiple beads at once. And when you get to the end of your beadwork, you note that, and also note that you can have so many lines. All right, this is one line that you have done. You can draw another line here, okay, to follow this, and then you can do another line of beading on that. You can have multiple lines, and this is how those dresses that you see come about. Everything starts with one line, then they bead on the second line, and then they bead on the next line, and then they bead on the next line. All right, this is how those beadwork that you see come about, and you can see how we just bead this right now. You like what you see? If you like what you see, hit the like, double tap your screen, like. Okay, so you not pick a pinch of fabric and then make a knot at the end like that. Do that a couple of times so that your work is secured. You don't want a bead work that nobody wants a bead work that rips off. Okay, nobody wants that. All right, so secure it and then pass your thread into your fabric and then you just cut. But if you want to move on to the next line at this point, all you need to do is to just put in your needle and then you move out like this, and then you continue on the next line. Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah, yes. Yes, I'm glad that we are getting this whole thing. Note your questions down. We are going to be taking questions soon when we get to the end of the class. Just note your questions down. It's just that we have so much to cover, and I don't want us to be delayed by answering the questions, okay? So let's all just stay tuned. Whatever it is that we need to know, you can note it down, pen it down so that you won't forget, or you can even send it in the chat so that I would scroll back and read them, you know, and then attend to them all. So this is one beading design. This is another beading design. All right, using running stitch. Okay, so I hope that so far we understand the class. Do we understand? I'm waiting for our responses. Let me be sure that we understand before we go further. All right, so that takes us to, if we all understand, that will take us to, okay, we understand. Good. That will take us to the next step, which is if we have multiple design. How do you draw your outline? If you have a plain base, you have a plain bustier, you have a plain corset, and I want to design it, how do I design? The first thing you want to do is you need to envision what you want. Okay, what you want to do, you can draw out your sketch on the paper just so you are sure this is what you want. Get heat erasable pencil, get heat erasable pen. You can also use your tailor's chalk. You can use your pencil. Just make sure that whatever that you are doing, marking is done faintly. All right, so now we are going to be designing the waist area. Like I told us, I said if you have a blouse at the end of this class, you should be able to beat that blouse without any struggle. If you have a plain blouse, you should be able to bead your blouse by the end of this class. That is how detailed this class is going to be and so easy for you to understand. All right. So now let's draw our outline. Okay. Okay. So let's have something like this. So let's have something like this. All right. You can see I've drawn lines. I've drawn about 6 lines in this waist area. All right. So I'm going to be beading on it now. All right. We are going to be using this. All right. It's just that in this case now, we are going to be following a particular outline. All right. If you want to have a star, just draw a star. All right. And follow the technique that I just showed us here. Follow it here as well. Okay. Do you understand? I hope you do. Alright, so I'm just going to pass my thread over there and then we are going to begin. Okay, so let's have this as our starting line right now. Okay, and then you can see that if I place this embroidery hook this way, everybody is able to see it. This is the reason why from the beginning of this class I told us it's not a must you have embroidery hook, because if you are working with consent you can't be putting them inside the embroidery hook. The purpose of the embroidery hook is just so that everybody can see what you are doing in training like this. All right, but in light fabrics where you have a shirt and all of that, you can actually work with an embroidery hook. Okay, because that is quite easy. It's not multiple layers of fabric. I hope you understand that. So now in this case, I'm just going to be beading these lines that you see. Now in this case, I'm making my spacing really small. You can see where my beading needle is. I'm making that spacing to be really small in between. Okay, so I'm moving on. So from here now, I'm moving on to my next line now. I want the next line to be somewhere here. So you can all see what this is looking like right now. Can you see? So let's just add one more line down here. So it looks pretty and it just looks like what we really intended to look like. Okay, so you can see, take a look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this beautiful already? So you can see how beautiful this looks. This looks good. Can you see? Coming out, this is like a focal point. They all cluster from here and then they all disperse out. They all disperse out. Clusters from here and then it disperses out. Clusters from here, it disperses out. Clusters from here, it disperses out. Just like that. And then you can see how I move from one line to the other. And then the outline also helps to guide you. All right, it helps to guide you on what you are drawing so that you can work according to your original plan. Okay, so if you can access the back of your dress, you can do well to also knot your thread. When you get to the end of your design, you can knot your thread at the end, just like this. But if you can't access the back of the dress, knot your thread at the front of the dress, just like I showed you earlier. Okay. Okay, so you can see, okay, wow, it's almost 7 right now. Okay, let's see. You should be able to take one or two more beading design, and then I'm going to take all our questions. If you have any questions by now, you should start putting them together. And if you have a question and you want to get answers to every question is a good question, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Okay, so we have learned the scattered beading design. We have learned using running stitches, using multiple beads. Here we use a single bead, here we use multiple beads, here we use multiple beads. Made we put the focal points into consideration. We have our focal point starting from here and then it also disperses. Okay, so far I know we have learned so much in this class already. I know that for sure. Okay, so give this a like, and let's go further. So everyone that is just joining, welcome on board. This recap is all that you have learned before you joined us. I'm glad that you still joined. Okay, so like, and then let's move to the next design. Thank you for all the likes. Wow. It's been over an hour in this live already. I'm already getting notification of the battery is still halfway. It's still good. So you can see this is the next line. So in this case, I'm making it as close as possible. You can see how closer they are to one another. And then this is the next line. So for those that want to build multiple lines side by side, multiple lines really close together, this is it. Ensure that your spacing is really as short as it can possibly be. Can you see? Okay, so by the time it comes here, you can see how close this is together. You can see it's really closer together. Okay, everybody wants a tangle thread, but it happens sometimes. So let's get this detangled. Okay, so that is already determined. Let's continue now. So now, if you look at this, you would see that just like that, we have been able to bead on 3 lines. And this is how you do beading on multiple lines. You can see one line, another line, then another line. And then you can see how close together they are, all right? And then this is one cup or one bust, as you may call it. So whatever you do on this, you definitely know that you have to do on the other one, right? I'm sure we all know that. Even if I did not mention that, I believe that we should know that, all right? Whatever you do on one side of the dress, so that somebody does not say, our tutor did not mention it, okay? So I know we all know that. Just that was just to be on a lighter note, okay? So I believe we all understand how to go about with this right now. Can we see that? Can we see that? So this is it. So this is it. So we were able to do this, 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 and this. This is already a lot. This is as much, this is even some of the things that you all learn in paid class, just this. And I'm glad that I'm able to bring it to you all. I'm glad I'm able to bring everything to you all in this free class. Okay, so how to bead on using a single bead, using multiple beads, multiple beading on multiple lines, beading on an M line, considering focal points as well as starter design and all of that. We've been able to treat it in this live class this evening, all right? So I think this is a good time for you to start dropping your questions in for me right now. We are going to be taking one more beading design. Don't go anywhere. But I want you to start dropping in the question now so that as soon as we are done with that, we can just simply move on to the question and answer, and then we can bring this class to a wrap. If you have gained something in this class, so far, please hit the like button, double tap your screen, let me know, send me that comment. I just want to read them, I just want to see them. Let me know how much you have gained in the class so far. And if somebody is wondering that I would like to get even much more, note that we have paid classes, okay? If you want online class, it's available. If you want physical class, it's available. They are well detailed, they are easy to understand. I'm just a tutor that teaches you like you are here with me. I'm sure that on this live stream today, we have all been able to understand these 4 technique that we have learned so far. So just see it as this is how the class is also. You are free to ask questions, you are free to whatever it is, its detail is easy to understand. So whether you want online classes or physical classes, it's available. It's available. You can see that there's always a WhatsApp attached to our content. There's also a WhatsApp number attached to the bio of whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you are. So if you want a paid class, welcome. I'll be glad to have you. Coco's signature. Oh, you just joined. Oh my god. Oh my god. What do we do about this now? And that's why I made sure that all the content were out there so that everybody can join on time and nobody can miss a thing. See how far we have gone already. Okay, so we still have one more to go. Okay, so I believe that you will be able to at least gain something with that last one, Coco signature. Okay, sorry, you are just joining. We have gone really far. We have learned so much already. Okay, so whether you want to still go for that, this is like an introductory. You try this one, you find out that okay, I think I love this beading. I'd like to know more. You want to go for all of those beadwork that you see. How do they do it? How do they get it done? Yes, we are just a DM away, a WhatsApp away. Okay, just reach out to us, and then you are going to get the class. All right. And I think right now we have the January batch is still the registration is still ongoing, and then you can still take advantage of the early bird offer. Okay, so you are going to see all of the details. It's everywhere on the page. It's even pinned. Okay, so if you check the pin page, if you check the pin content, you are going to see our Christmas offer. So I don't want anybody to miss that offer. So get it on now and all right. So I'm glad you, whether you're in this live right now or you watch it later, there's always an offer. So make sure that you send a WhatsApp message and then get to know of the offer on right now and then take advantage of it. Oh, okay. So let's go on with the next design. So for this one, this design works for, and you see it works for places like your boning area, your straps. It works with little tiny cords. Okay, this design works with your neckline. It can also help you to create many other design as well. So if you know that you have a spaghetti strap blouse somewhere, or you have a corset blouse somewhere that the boning is visible, this next design I'm about to show you is something that you can just get done. Like you can just wake up tomorrow morning, get to the market, buy beads, and then you just get it done. On top of it, right now, like right now, like okay, sorry, tomorrow is Sunday. Okay, so Monday morning, get your beads and then get it done. It works for your neckline as well. So let's get into this next beadwork. All right. So right now I'm going to be moving my thread over here. Moving my thread over here. Okay. So I'm going to be doing this on this strap of this blouse that we have on here. So I'm going to be doing this right on this strap. I'm going to be doing it here so that you can see that. All right, so get your needle and then into your needle and your thread into your fabric or into whatever strap you are working on. All right. P&B, hi, how are you? I was wondering when someone said Coach Motu. How are you, sis? Thanks for coming on. I'm glad to have you here. Okay, so now you want to do this on your strap. Let's do this on this strap that you see over here. So get your thread into your fabric. Okay, Now pick up your beads. In this case now, you really want to consider how many beads can cover the wideness of your strap or the wideness of that boning area. So in this case now, it's just going to be two. Can you see? It's just two that will cover. Reason me say, how can you show me the? Don't worry, we'll take this question. You people just keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. We are going to take our time to take this question. Whatever it is that you don't understand, I'm here for you. I'm here for you this evening. Okay? So two will cover. Okay? So you go in, can you see? You go in at that point, and then you come out on the next point. The next point now has to be next to where you went in from, but on top this time, not side by side, but on top. Can you see where my needle is coming from? Let me push it out a little bit more. Can you see the needle? Okay, so I'm sure you can see the needle now. So you can see the needle. So that is the top. Like it covers from here, I go into my fabric, then I come out from the top. Okay, so let's fill that in. Okay, we are just filling a space. By the time I do two or three now, you are really going to understand what it is that I'm trying to do. Okay, now it may look like you are not sure what I'm trying to do, but just wait. Okay, just wait, be patient. You are going to see what it is that I'm trying to do now. So I have already noted that this strap or the boning, two can cover. In your own case, it may be three. In your own case, it may be four. Okay. Once that strap is the same width, the same thickness, all you need to do is when you start with two, continue with two. Start with two, continue with two. If you start with three, continue with three. Like that. That is how you are going to get these things done. Okay. So I started with two. I'm going to pick another two. Another two like that. Okay. Another two. You can see go in the opposite side, and then you go inside next to that strap, just like that. Come out again, and then you go in again. Okay, can you see? I'm going to pick my next two. My next two. Can you see that it's now looking like a strap? You can see that it's coming around. You can see it's coming around. Can you see what this is looking like? You can see that now this is looking like an actual strap. Can you see how it is now covering up? It's covering up bit by bit. So if we have questions, let's start getting our questions ready. Okay, don't be distracted. Don't be distracted typing question. Let me just finish this. Except you are sure that you already understand what I'm doing. can you see our strap is ready, is filled, is covered. Can you see your straps? So just finish your thread, just finish it up nicely. I've showed you how to do it if you can access the back of your dress. If you are beading on a shirt or a blouse that does not have any lining, I've showed you how to do it. And if it's lined, this is how to do it. You make sure that your finishing hands at the front, but it has to be done as neat as possible. As neat as possible, guys. It has to be neat. Neat or neat. Okay, so that is it. We have learned how to create the scatter design. So I know that if you have any blouse with a plain base now, you should be able to do all this that you have done in this class on that blouse now. Okay, I asked if you all can hear me, if you all can see what I'm doing, and I got assertive yes. Okay, which simply means that we all understand. You can bead on your hem, on the hem of your blouse, the hem of your sleeve. This is a beading design. Okay, at the waist area, this is a beading design. I mentioned you could draw a star. If you don't want to have something like this, you could draw a star. I mentioned how you can do this scattered on the cup area, on the bust area. If it's a bustier, okay, just draw the outline, put the scattered beads there. I've also showed you how to bead on the neck. This is the neck of this blouse. Can you see how we bead on it? The beads are so close together. Can you see? Can you see how we bead on the strap? I also told you that this beading design can work for your bony area of your waist. You can use it to cover it. And what else did I not tell you in this class? You guys, I'm sure you have learned so much. So I'm ready for your questions now. If you have any questions, now is a good time. Start typing them. If there's anything that you would like to know, please ask me. I'm here. I'm your fabric beading tutor. Allow me to teach you this thing. And I'm glad that we have been able to get this live class done. And a whole lot of us have been able to gain so much in this class. So I'm waiting for your question. So while I wait for your question, I'm just going to be beading the other strap. That way I can get all your questions all together on all of these platforms where we are live streaming from. Okay, so I'll be waiting for all your questions. Meanwhile, like, if you don't have a question, you must like this live. Okay, begin to tap the like button, power tap your screen, share. Okay, leave a comment, just do something. You must do something. Oh, is either you have a question or you like it or you share it. You must share, do something. Do something. Okay. All right, so I'll be waiting for our questions while I read this. All right. So if you are just joining or you still do not get how we have done it so far, this is another opportunity for you to just see how it is done. So we started from here, okay, and then you go in on the opposite side, just like this, and then you bring it down, okay, and then you come up from the top. Can you see where my beading needle is, everyone? Okay, come up from there, and then you go in, you pick your two beads, waiting for our questions. I'm waiting for our questions. Please ask me your question now. This is an opportunity because this is a free class. Don't ask me it's better you ask me the question now, because if you don't ask me the question now, you may be left with no option than to come and ask me the question in the paid class. So now is the opportunity. Use it. I'm here for you. Ask me all your questions. Okay, so as soon as I'm done with this, we are going to be taking all the questions. Ensure that your question is in the chat. Ensure that your question is in the chat. And please, if I'm leaving out your questions, please always remind me or bring it back in one way or the other so that I do not forget to answer your questions, please. All right. So this is the next. This is the second chapter. Oh, battery low. Battery low on TikTok. Okay, so let me take our questions one after the other. Do you have any question? Instagram, TikTok, where do we start from? Okay. All right. Busy Bee, I'm still waiting for your urgent question. You said you had an urgent question. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Bring up your urgent question now. Okay, so let's start with, okay, how can I show you, how can you show me the lesson? To show that the lesson was understood. How do you want to show me the lesson was understood? You can actually bead on your dress. You can actually bead on your dress. Let me see. You can send me you can tag Mueta Fashion. I beaded this when I learned in the free life class. That might be your caption and tag. Please, I did not say collaborate. Just tag so that I can see it, and then so that way I know that you understand what you have been taught. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so someone else is asking, or is it the same person? Okay, okay, I think it's still BCB. Is it a must to use crystal? No, it's not a must to use crystal. I have, these are pearl beads that I have right here. There are a whole lot of beads. We have pearl beads, we have buckle beads, we have crystals, we have broken beads. There are numerous types of beads. The fact that I use this is because, of course, we are limited to time. Imagine this is what we did. We have stayed more than 2 hours in this live session, okay? And this is what we could come up with. Imagine I want to teach you everything, and that's why you have to join the class. If you want to know everything, then come for the intensive class. Everything you are going to see how it's being used: pipe beads, bubble beads, crystal beads, pearl beads, seed beads, broken beads. All of these beads, you are going to see everything in there. So it's not a must that you use crystals. It's just that crystals will give you, thank you. It's just that crystals will give you the shine. Remember, I told you earlier that crystals will always give you that shine, to give you that sparkle. Okay, so if you want to go by, you want the shine, you want the sparkle, and it fits the job that you have at hand, then go for your crystals, please. It will always come out great. It will always come out right. Okay, so that is it. Okay, Busy Bee, I think you may need to reframe that question. Can you use this chain? I don't understand what you mean by the chain. I don't understand what chain in particular you are referring to. Okay, please. I don't understand what chain you are referring to. Hi, precious gifts. How are you? I hope you're still there. I hope you have learned something in this live class. Okay, I hope I'm not missing out anyone's question. Okay, Baby Young, I have a dress I've not bid because I don't know how to do it. Baby Young, are you just joining this live session? Are you just joining? Because if you have been on this live with everything that we have learned today, you should be able to bid on your end line. You should be able to bid on your neckline. You should be able to bid on your waist area. You should be able to create scattered beadwork on any part of your dress. That's why I'm asking, are you just joining this live? If you are just joining this live, then it has started. Like I said, it's been about 2 hours here, and we have learned so much. Take a look at our workbook. This is our workings. So this is our workings. Our workings is showing. Our workings is showing. So this is our workings. So if you are just joining up and you would like to learn fabric beading, then our advice should take you WhatsApp the number on that screen. There's a class for you. If you want to join that class, do well to join in, okay? There is Sola. Thank you for joining, Miss and Mrs. Agoa. Please, if I have not answered your question, can you please alert me? Let me know I have not answered your question. Okay, so Baby Young, if you would like to learn more about fabric beading, you want to learn how to bead that dress, you can take any of our online class or you join the January batch. Are you in Lagos? Baby Young, if you're in Lagos, join the January batch fabric beading class. But if you're not in Lagos, take our online class. It is well detailed, easy to understand, and easy to follow, step by step guide. Everything is on the class. All right. I'm still waiting for our questions. If we still have questions, we still have questions. Please keep it coming. Keep it coming. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So we have this sofa, okay? And all we need to do to this is to just give me a moment. Let me get this in. Okay. Okay. So all we need to do is whatever it is that you have done. Oh, from Cameroon. The online class, you can WhatsApp the use the WhatsApp in the bio so that you can get all the information. Okay. The online class is 25,000 naira, but you can take advantage of right now. Okay, so I don't know how much it's going to be tomorrow, but right now, but you, for the Christmas offer is 15,000 naira, so that's like 10,000 price slash. So if I were you and you want to actually learn this is like a free gift. Take advantage of it. Price goes back to the regular by 15th of December. So if you want that, hop on it now, tomorrow, next, before 15th of December. By 15th of December, it goes back to the actual fee. Okay. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. Please, if I am leaving out your questions, please alert me. I don't want to leave anyone out. But so far, let me know how was the class today. I would like to really know sincerely how was the class. How was the class? Did you think that this class is actually difficult, or do you think that it was actually even easier than you think it is? I would really like to know. Tell me, how was the class? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Okay, so leave that to me in a minute and let me get to see. Busy B, thank you for joining from Cameroon. Everyone in Nigeria, thank you for joining. Also, ensure that you follow all of our page. Follow all of our page, and so that from time to time you get to see all of the goodies and all of the classes that you can also join in. All right. So if you are in Lagos, then it will be easy for you to navigate and find your way to Ojodu. All right, so that's where the academy is. I just told us how. Thank you for the free class. You're a great tutor. Well understood. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that beautiful review. Thank you for the beautiful review. If there's any, let me give me more flowers. I want my hair to swell. I want my hair to swell. Busy brushes. Okay, you still have to, it still has to go back to the WhatsApp. Okay, there's a WhatsApp link to our Instagram, there's a WhatsApp link to our TikTok. Okay, so you can, after this live class, okay, you can WhatsApp that number. It's still the same WhatsApp you see on every of our content. All right, so you can just check one or two contents. All right, and then you can just send your chats about any of the class that you would like to pay for. So, but before I go, I still want to know, how was this class? How was the class? Let me know now. Was the class good? Did you have fun? Did you learn something? Okay. All right. So let me know if you get something. Let me know if you gain something from this class. Discount, Miss and Mrs. I just told you that that is a 10K discount for the sake of people that are on this live. Okay, maybe we can extend the payment time from 15 to 16th. Okay, but discount, the fee is 25,000 naira. And trust me, these classes are very well detailed, very well detailed. Okay, so it's 25,000 naira. And now I'm saying, okay, you guys right now take it for 15,000 naira. That's my Christmas bonanza. See, that is my Christmas bonanza. Okay, busy bee. I've learned something. This is my first class. Oh wow. Ah. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I got to teach you very well. Even though this is your first class, I'm so glad it is well understood. I'm so glad it is well understood. I'm so glad it is well understood. Okay? So, do we have any other questions before we call it a day and we call it a moment? We are about wrapping up now. I don't want to leave anyone behind. And even if we leave you behind, you can WhatsApp the number that is on the bio of the page. You are going to get all your inquiries attended to. Okay, so it's been a beautiful 2 hours with you guys. I'm glad that we are able to do this. I'm glad that somebody out here, you are able to. Miss and Mrs. You say cash and carry. I don't understand what you mean by cash and carry. Me, I don't understand what you mean. Me, I don't understand what you mean by cash and carry. Okay, so I'm glad we've been able to do this. So now I know that at least if you have a blouse now, you can work on the bust area, you can work on the neckline, you can work on the sleeve, you can work on the hem, you can work on the waist area just in 2 hours. Really, I'm so glad I've been able to be a blessing bringing you this knowledge, this, excuse me, bringing you this knowledge today. So ensure and feel free to follow this page. Feel free to send your inquiries if you want more detailed paid class, whether online or physical class, whether online or physical class. Okay, so do well to WhatsApp that number that comes with our content all the time. All right, so for those that have made inquiry about the class, do well to WhatsApp that number. Every of your inquiries will be attended to. And the January physical class starts January 8th, okay? But the Christmas offer ends December 15th. And like I said, I'm going to extend it to December 16th only for those that are on this live stream. Okay, so if you are paying December 16th and whoever that is attending to you is telling you that okay, you can't pay anymore because December 15th is the last day, make sure to let the person know that you actually join the live class. Okay, so wow, I'm glad that we have all learned a thing or two. One last question. What's the last question? Okay, so it's a Naira account. It's a Naira account. How do you pay? Do you want to do? I don't want to talk about payments in this live stream. Just send the WhatsApp. Send a WhatsApp message. Okay. Yes. Send a WhatsApp message. So thank you everyone that has joined. I would like to go now, but I'm glad that we have learned something. Before I go, final word. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So thank you everyone that has made this live class today really fun and really interesting. So everyone that's going to be seeing this replay, I'm sure that you have learned something as well. So it's time to go. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you again in the next content that you see me. I'll see you, or in the next live, or I'll see you again in the online class for those that will join the online class. I'll see you again in January in the physical class, and then you're going to be seeing me live in class. as I'm going to be taking your hand and showing you everything that you need from becoming a beginner to becoming a pro fabric beater. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm giving you that eye. I'll see you all again next time. Bye. Woo. What a session. Okay.